Folks, if you don't know who this young man is, you are missing out. I call him the best real estate investor in Central Valley. I also call him a good friend, Mr. Jason Pritchard. How you doing, buddy?
Mr. Zuber, it's good to be back in the seat again, man. Long time no
Yeah,
see, man.
it's
Yeah.
been a little while. I've been out on the road, been doing a boot camp, and it's just it's so nice to spend some time with you. I actually want to, get in the co-pilot seat with you and just remind people last year, this time, last
Mhm.
year, Q4, Jason Pritchard and team were closing on deals that would ultimately cause you to lose six figures.
Correct.
Now, a year later, I would argue the real estate market's the same. Q4 rates went up, demand fell, yada, yada, yada. Kind of feels like the same. But it apparently you pivoted in some way where your Q4 is likely going to be the best Q4 in company history.
Yep.
So how the hell did you do it? Rates are 8%. Nobody's buying. There's nothing available. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, help us understand what happened between last year and this year. Let us know.
Yeah, yeah, and it's things that we've talked about throughout the course of the year, Zuber, and like we were saying before we jumped on, it's very interesting to see these things actually manifest and have real data to go over with the community. And so, what has been our biggest pivot this year is moving away from projects that have longer cash conversion cycles. So for us in our business, that's typically fix and flip projects. Our average fix and flip we're in and out of in probably about 4.5 or 5 months. Sometimes they can be longer, sometimes they can be shorter, but those are the things that tie up big chunks of money. And in this market, we just didn't want to be overly exposed to all the surprises that come up when you have projects like that, the fluctuation in rates, buyer demand, all the other things that happen when you carry projects for the long term. And so we were reviewing our numbers with our team. And this time last year, 80% of the deals that we did, which was just north of 60, were fix and flip projects. We're on track to do just over 70 this year. So we're going to do more volume than we did last year. And it's almost an even split. 30% of our projects have been assignment deals where we never take the project down. We just assign while we're in escrow to an end buyer. 30% have been projects that we close and then we just stick back on the market and see if we can find an investment buyer on MLS to take it off our hands at a profit margin that would be close to what we would expect to making flipping it. And the rest have been the traditional flips. And so we had much less activity with the longer term projects. And that's allowed us to get in and out of stuff faster, get money and revenue back into our business faster. I'll share some stats with you, which were pretty eye-opening regarding how much less money we've spent on rehab labor, almost to the tune of $900,000 less this year on labor, just on labor this year, dude. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So again, I just want people to realize, right? I call you the best in the business in my market for sure, if not all of California for a reason, because you are into the data, you are in the analytics, and you're always doing deals.
Yep.
Right. And really what I think you've hit on is, I don't know what it might be called by others, but I'll call it the cash conversion cycle, right? Where you're looking at how much cash you have to tie up and how fast that comes back.
Correct.
Because last year with 80% of your deals doing flips, you were relying on private money a lot, right?
Correct.
And you were paying those fees. Now, at least a third of your business, you have no money involved at all, right? You're just picking up a check. Then the next one, you have very little money tied up. And I would argue probably some of that, you're just using your own capital. So again,
correct. Yeah. If we know it's going to be very quick turns, it's my cash, lines of credit, things like that, in and out. Yep.
Yeah. And so not only are you saving $900,000 in labor, I'm going to guess your interest rate charge or whatever you want, debt charge is probably down $500,000.
Yep. And our top line is actually higher, which was crazy too, because we were selling more projects, right? And so we actually sold more top line revenue this year than we did last year. It was just we had kind of almost not a year end review, but our books were done for November for the most part. So we did basically all of the 11 months for 2023. And it was really eye opening to see.
Let me state what I think I've just heard. Sorry to interrupt, but this is just too good. Your top line's higher.
Yep.
Your expenses are lower.
Yep.
Which means you're more profitable.
Net is more profitable. Yeah. And it's crazy to think about how rough it was Q1 this year, dude. You know what I mean?
That's right. You dug a hole. You
Yeah,
dug a
accounting
hole.
for like a very big loss at the beginning of the year, it's pretty amazing, man. And it was hard. And I think we've talked openly about some of
Yeah.
the struggles that we had, coming into the year, taking those losses and having to actively pivot while it feels like the wheels are falling off, on the car as you're driving it down the road is not an easy thing to do. So I'm very proud of my team, very proud of Jen and I for our ability to come in and evolve and adapt and do some different things. And it's paid off. It's been good.
Well, let me ask this question. I think I know the answer, but we're going to ask it anyway. Are you having more fun now than last year?
I am. I have never been more optimistic and excited going into a new year in the real estate business than I am right now. And it's a strange feeling. And I temper that. And I say that with a lot of gratitude because I talk to lots of people that are not in that position. So this is not me trying to flex on anybody, but it's just showing a different side of the coin that's out there. And there are people that are figuring out ways to thrive in this market. And we're definitely not the only ones. And it's just, coming, collaborating, talking openly about the things that are working and applying those things in our business and never being too hard-headed or unwilling to learn new tricks. I think that's always something that I prided myself on. Coming from corporate background, we've talked about this before. I was always conditioned to things changing because our comp plans would always change. Our commission
Every
structures, our
year.
bonus
Yeah.
structures, the goalpost was always moving. And I was like, well, whatever. For whatever reason, that always stuck with me. And I always knew that, the cheese is going to get moved at some point and we're just going to have to figure out how to go get it. And that's what we've done.
Yeah, we certainly were built to expect it, right? The cheese gets moved every year.
That's right.
Smaller patch, higher quota,
Yep.
it's just that. So that's awesome. I want to hit this just to make sure I'm clear because I think a lot of the people that are struggling today, and I talk to them, they didn't learn the lesson from last year. So I'll ask you this. If you were still 80% flipping like you were last year coming into this, you would A, not be as profitable, and B,
Nope.
you would not be having as much fun, and C, the wheels may be feeling like it's coming off because I think this market is very much like the last market, except rates are even higher.
Yep. Yeah,
Is that
no, it is. And there's lots of challenges. And one of the big things that we've learned for the people that are wanting to make some of the pivots that we're doing is that, at least in our market, Central California, the demand from investor buyers has not dissipated at all.
Nope,
And so
not at
we've
all.
almost moved, let's say 65% of the deals that we've done are targeting almost a different end buyer. We're not looking to sell the bulk of our deals this year to owner occupants because they're the ones that have a lot of the exposure to the things that are going on. Now, obviously, investors have to be careful too, but we've just found there is, if the deal makes sense, and that's one of the things that we've always been great at is finding good deals, finding, negotiating, and purchasing great deals. And that's one of the skill sets that we've been great at, and we've just pivoted who we're selling them to, and that's what's really helped us in our market.
Yeah, and again, folks, there's a couple of flippers I know out there that frankly are repeating last year's journey, and Q1's going to suck for you. It's going to hurt if you're going to have to exit. If you have the ability to hold on and wait to the spring, maybe you'll be okay. Maybe you won't. I would argue go think about cash conversion because again, if you could sell more, have 900,000 and less labor, some significant amount less in interest costs, and be more profitable, none of that sucks.
Yeah.
Go figure it out.
No. Yeah. No, it's all good. It's definitely a great place to be in. We have no problem properties. We came into the end of last year with a bunch of anchor properties, things that were just weighing us down. And it's not just the money, guys. It's the stress on the team, the stress mentally on everybody. I mean, that's really what's more taxing because the money sucks in the moment. You take the loss and then it's, you just pick up the pieces and move on. But when you constantly have these things mentally dragging you down, that starts to ripple out into every other aspect of your business. Your team will pick up on it, and it can be hard to bounce back from things like that. So yeah, good spot to be in for sure.
Jason, you put out a lot of this stuff on Instagram. You also have an amazing website, which you're still giving stuff away for free, which I can't believe you do, which is pretty awesome. What is it? Where can people find you?
If you guys want to follow along with the journey, Instagram or Facebook, just my name, Jason Pritchard, on there. We share lots of really cool behind the scenes stuff and just everything that you come up against day to day as a real estate investor in the current market. My website is jasonpritchard.com. We have tons of free resources in there. We have a whole toolkit that you can download. That's basically our business in a box that we give away for free. feel free to go there, download all that stuff, and reach out to me. I get tons of messages from the One Rental at a Time community. I love supporting you guys, love helping you guys. Feel free to DM me with any questions that you got.
And folks, let's remind Jason that he owes us some more walkthroughs. We got to get some of his walkthrough videos.
I got you. I got some good stuff coming up too. I'll make sure we get it for you.
Thank you, buddy.